Most people think the next economic collapse will come from inflation, money printing, or government debt. But what if they are wrong? Some financial commentators believe it's far more dangerous and far closer than anyone wants to admit. Today, I'm going to show you the exact chain reaction that could collapse the global economy. But it's not all doom and gloom, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to invest in any market conditions. Chapter 1, the market isn't booming, it's ballooning. What happens when 7 companies carry the entire economy on their back? Over the past few years, the stock market hasn't been strong, it's been imbalanced, distorted, dangerously concentrated. The Magnificent Seven, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, Nvidia, now make up over 1/3 of the entire S&P 500. That's not a healthy market, that's a single basket with too much concentration. Why does this matter? Because these companies aren't climbing because everything's brilliant, they're climbing because the world is obsessed with one thing: artificial intelligence. Investors are pouring billions into anything touching AI, but nobody's asking the uncomfortable question. What happens if the companies powering AI suddenly can't get the chips they need, they rely on? Because as you're about to see, this entire boom, this trillion-dollar bubble, sits on the thinnest ice you can imagine. If you want to know how to invest despite difficult economic times, hit subscribe, and using 24 years of real investing experience, I'll do my best to help you step by step. Chapter 2, Nvidia's hidden weakness. The lie everyone believes. Nvidia doesn't actually make anything, and that should get us investors thinking, in my opinion. Nvidia is now the largest company in the S&P 500, a 4.3 trillion giant with a P/E ratio of around 45, meaning investors expect decades of growth. But here's the truth most investors still don't know. Nvidia doesn't manufacture a single chip, not one. They design them, they build the blueprints. But the actual physical chips, the H100, the B200, the chips powering the entire AI revolution, are manufactured by TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. And here's where the risk becomes existential. 80 to 90% of the world's advanced AI chips are made inside Taiwan. Not in the US, not in Europe, not in South Korea. One island, one company, one point of failure. No TSMC, no Nvidia, no Apple Silicon, no AI infrastructure, no tech boom. This is the part most people still don't understand. As you can probably guess, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't me giving out financial advice. I'm not an expert, not even close, but I'm sick of seeing people I care about struggling financially, and my intention is to help as many people as possible with my experience. Chapter 3, the China Fuse. Why 2027 is the date nobody wants to say out loud. Just to be transparent, I'm not telling you this to scare you, and I'm not telling you as some fake guru. I've got loads of investing experience, and I'm doing my best to keep up with what's actually going on in the global economy, so I can help myself and my family, so I can also help my school community, where I offer one-to-one investing support, and anyone watching this video and this YouTube channel. Anyway, back to China. The world's most valuable industry sits 110 miles from the world's most powerful authoritarian regime. US intelligence believes Xi Jinping is preparing China's military to be ready for a Taiwan invasion by 2027. Not maybe, not someday, by a specific year. Just look at recent activity. China tests new equipment, new ships, 70 plus commercial ferries designed to transport tanks, large-scale surround and choke military drills around Taiwan. If China takes Taiwan, even peacefully, here's what happens. TSMC dies instantly, not because the factories explode, but because the tools need US software. The machines need Dutch parts. The supply chain fragments. The engineers flee or are evacuated by the US. Even if China wanted to keep the factories running, they couldn't. The oxygen supply for the global tech industry gets cut off. Everything stops. What about you? Do you think this is potentially going to happen? Or are you thinking it's all talk and fluff? Chapter 4, can't we just use Samsung? No, and here's why. There are only 2 companies on earth that can build advanced chips, and one of them still fails too often. The world has 2 advanced chip foundries. 1 TSMC, world leader, 2 Samsung, distant runner-up, On paper, this sounds okay. In reality, Samsung's technology just isn't good enough to match TSMC, and they can't just scale up. It takes decades of experience, specialized chemical supply chains, ultra pure manufacturing environments, thousands of engineers trained on bleeding edge nodes. If TSMC goes down, many believe Samsung cannot save the global economy. It's not even close. As I said, I'm not an expert, and I'm definitely not an expert on chip manufacturing. I'm just literally trying to keep up, trying to do my best to keep up. Chapter 5, America's backup plan is not ready. Yes, TSMC is building in the US, but apparently they won't save us. TSMC's new chip plant in Arizona are years behind schedule, struggling with workforce shortages, unable to produce 3nm or 2nm chips anytime soon. Even when they open, they'll produce older generation chips, not the chips Nvidia and Apple actually need, not the chips powering AI models, not the chips keeping the stock market alive. So the backup plan is really a PR announcement dressed as national security. Chapter 6, the chain reaction that potentially collapses the global economy. Day 1, TSMC stops, production halts, supply chain freezes. Day 3, Nvidia implodes. Their valuation built on future AI chip shipments evaporates. Day 7, Apple freezes. No chips, no iPhones, no revenue pipeline. Week 2, cloud giants panic. Amazon, Google, Microsoft cannot expand data centers. AI stops scaling. Week 4, stock markets crash globally. Why? Because those companies are the markets. Week 6, global recession begins. Tech layoffs, supply chain breakdowns, capital flight, investor panic. And here's the punchline. All of this happens without a single bomb landing. Just the threat or blockade of Taiwan triggers the spiral. Some good news. Before we summarize how the economy potentially collapses, I want to bring a bit of balance. Because if you read the books and put the work in, you realize that us investors can keep on investing in any market conditions, because the most successful investors over the last few decades have done it. Dollar cost averaging each month, maybe each week, and you do it long term. And if you want more of an explanation, see below for a recent video. Summary. So here's the question that matters with the current global economy. Do we keep pretending this bottleneck doesn't exist, or do we finally start treating it like the economic nuclear bomb that it potentially is? Tell me in the comments. Am I exaggerating, or is this the most overlooked threat in the global economy right now? The fact is, you might be bullish or bearish on the economy as we approach 2026, but the current system is boom and bust, and there will be a bust at some point in the future. The way to protect yourself is with education. If you want one-to-one help and support, have a look below in the description. At the very top, you'll find the link for my investing community on School. There you get a weekly newsletter, a monthly group call, investing courses to complete, one-to-one support in the group chat, and you can even jump on an hour-long one-to-one call with me. I'm not a crypto bro. I'm not someone on TikTok trying to sell you the latest stock. I'm someone with real experience who genuinely cares, because I know what it's like to struggle financially. And again, I'm sick of seeing people I care about struggling.